My cousin begged me to impersonate him at his toxic in-laws' holiday dinner. I agreed, wore a wire, and recorded everything they said when they thought no one was listening. 3 hours later, I played it back for the entire family. My cousin Drew and I could pass for twins. Same height, same build, same dark hair, even the same scar on our left eyebrow from a childhood bike accident. Growing up, we'd swap places constantly for tests, dates, family dinners where one of us was in trouble. We hadn't pulled a switch in years, so when Drew showed up at my apartment last November looking completely destroyed, I knew something was seriously wrong. His wife's family had been systematically tearing him apart for 2 years. Her dad, Gerald, was the worst, always posting passive-aggressive comments about real men providing for families. Her uncle Richard wasn't much better. Between them, they'd made every family gathering a nightmare. They'd mock Drew's job teaching kindergarten, say it wasn't real work, that he should be in construction or sales. They'd compare him to Vanessa's ex-boyfriend who owned some roofing company. Vanessa would just sit there during these attacks. Sometimes she'd change the subject. Sometimes she'd look uncomfortable, but she never told him to stop. He asked if I'd go to their Thanksgiving dinner in his place, just once. He needed a break from the constant humiliation. I said yes immediately. We spent 3 days preparing. He walked me through everyone's names, their personalities, the dynamics. He showed me videos of past dinners so I could study how he acted around them, the slumped shoulders, the quiet voice, the way he'd learned to make himself smaller. I memorized stories about his classroom and students. The night before Thanksgiving, I bought a tiny recording device that looked like a regular pen. I clipped it to my shirt pocket and tested it in my apartment, making sure it would capture everything clearly. Thanksgiving Day, I drove to Vanessa's parents' house. Gerald answered the door with that fake friendly smile Drew had warned me about. "Drew, glad you could make it." The house smelled like turkey and stuffing. Football played on TV. Everything looked perfectly ordinary, but I could feel the tension underneath. Gerald started in almost immediately. "Drew, you still teaching kindergarten? When are you going to get a real job that can actually support my daughter?" His tone was joking, but the edge was sharp. I played the part exactly like Drew taught me. Kept my head down, gave short answers. "Still teaching?" "Yeah, I like it." He laughed. "You like it? That's cute. Vanessa needs stability, not someone who likes finger painting with 5-year-olds. Dinner was worse. Richard joined in, asking about my salary in front of everyone, making comments about teachers getting summers off like it was a scam. Vanessa's mom tried to change the subject a few times, but Gerald and Richard kept circling back. I sat there taking it, letting them think they were winning. After dinner, Gerald and Richard went outside to smoke cigars on the back patio. I followed a few minutes later, hanging back just inside the doorway where they couldn't see me, but I could hear everything. The pen in my pocket recorded it all. That's when they got completely honest. Gerald took a long drag and laughed. "Drew's the biggest pushover I've ever met. I still can't believe Vanessa married him." Richard nodded. "She could have had anyone. Remember Connor with the roofing business? Now that was a real man with ambition." Gerald said they'd been working on Vanessa, dropping hints that she'd made a mistake, that she deserved better. Richard said, "Give it another year. She'll realize she married a loser and we can help her find someone worth her time." I recorded every word. When everyone gathered for dessert, I pulled out my phone and connected it to their Bluetooth speaker. "I'm going to play something," I announced. The room went quiet. Then their voices filled the space. Every insult, every plot to destroy the marriage, crystal clear. Vanessa's mom gasped. Gerald's face went white. Richard started to stand up, but I kept the audio playing. When it finished, I looked directly at Gerald and said, "I'm not Drew, I'm his cousin, and he sent me here because he knew you'd show your true colors if you thought he couldn't fight back." Vanessa sat frozen, finally understanding her family had been plotting against her marriage the entire time.